What's going on, guys? It's the Mun from Movie Clicks. So let's take a look what we have for today. We have some news about Black Panther 2. In Avengers, Endgame really did include a Namor the Submariner tease, and now that it's been confirmed as intentional, what does the reference mean for Black Panther 2? Black Widow's exchange with Okoye early on in the film could hold a great deal of meaning for the story of the highly anticipated Black Panther sequel. With a worldwide box office haul of $1.3 billion, 2018's Black Panther was a record-breaking film for Marvel Studios, so there was little doubt that a sequel would be produced. At SDCC 2019, Black Panther 2 was officially confirmed to be in development with Ryan Coogler, who helmed the first film, returning to direct. The film is scheduled for a May 2022 release, and despite the fact that nearly every other movie on Marvel's slate was pushed back, Black Panther 2 kept its release date. Marvel is keeping this information under wraps. Who Black Panther will fight is also a secret. As Black Panther doesn't have the rich rogues gallery of villains shared by heroes like Spider-Man, it seems highly possible that Black Panther may borrow from the pages of another hero's comic, or it could feature a major comic book character with connections to Panther, such as Namor the Submariner. Though more of an anti-hero than a full-fledged supervillain, Namor does have a history of being an antagonist, and is one of the most well-known Marvel characters who has yet to appear on the big screen. He could be Marvel's choice for Black Panther 2's villain. In the first half of Avengers Endgame, Black Widow is checking with the other characters who are continuing operations around the world when Okoye interjects that underwater earthquakes have been occurring off the coast of Africa, but she doesn't elaborate any further. Natasha asks Okoye how Wakanda will deal with this issue, to which Okoye replies, "It's an earthquake under the ocean. We handle it by not handling it." Immediately, fans took this remark as a reference to Namor the Submariner and the Kingdom of Atlantis, and a sign that the Avenging Son could finally be on his way to the MCU. Later, Endgame writers Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely poured cold water on this theory in an interview when Marcus said, "I wish we were that smart." But during a recent watch party for Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame, interest in the line and what it meant for the MCU reignited when a fan asked on Twitter if the reference to Namor was intentional. This time, Marcus responded and said, "Sometimes, you plant seeds. Sometimes, they grow." In other words, the writers did indeed mean to draw attention to Namor and Atlantis, though why they waited so long to admit it is unclear. Including the line doesn't necessarily mean Marvel will ever expand on it, but it did build the groundwork in case Marvel does introduce Namor eventually. What Wakanda relationship with Atlantis could be if Okoye was, in fact, talking about Atlantis. What does Okoye's answer to Natasha's question say about Wakanda's relationship with Atlantis? Whatever is going on in Atlantis, Wakanda clearly has no intention of getting involved. It would seem that Wakanda is aware of Atlantis, but the two kingdoms are staying out of each other's affairs. This would indicate that relations between them are either strained or non-existent. Based on what's known about them in the comics, this makes sense. For decades, Atlantis and Wakanda tolerated each other, but problems between them go all the way back to the pages of the Defenders in the 1970s when Wakanda mistakenly launched missiles at Atlantis. Namor averted an all-out war by intercepting the missiles, but the tensions between them have never really gone away. In fact, they've worsened by other diplomatic incidents and conflicts between Black Panther and Namor. And in recent years, a war even erupted between them. How Marvel Avengers Endgame's Namor reference could set up Black Panther 2 if Marvel is planning on using the Avenging Son as its villain. What this tease says about Atlantis is that the two kingdoms already have a history, and that could come into play in the next movie. As for the earthquakes, what was happening in Atlantis, whether it be a war or some other incident, could lead to something huge, especially if someone new took power over the kingdom. Thanos' snap changed so much for everyone in the universe, so there's no reason why it wouldn't have had an equally detrimental effect on Atlantis. Having their population erased by events that took place on the surface may have altered their perspective on the outside world, as well. Atlantis may determine that humanity presents a problem that needs to be eliminated, and so, Atlantis' isolation could soon end if they decide to take action. So relations between Atlantis and Wakanda may go from bad to worse in Black Panther 2, if that's a route Marvel chooses to take. And if Namor is the main antagonist, it will be interestingly to see what exactly motivates his crusade against Wakanda. So that's all, guys. Check out one of our newest videos right here. and we are giving some Amazon voucher gift cards to the top supporters of our channel. You all have to just subscribe our channel and comment on our video. At the end to this week we will give Amazon voucher gift cards to the best supporter. Stay tuned with us so you will never miss single one. I'm the Mun from Movie Clicks.